Man United in the past week had given us fans a hell of a rollercoaster ride in terms of matches. Kick off with a controversy 2-1 win against Man City brought all of us over the moon and then go crashing down real fast. Man United subsequently encountered a gutted 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace. By the way, the last minute free kick equaliser by Olise was nothing short of world class. Then follow up the burn for the Red Devils was the dramatic loss to the familiar rivals on a familiar deja vu last minute goal winner by Nketiah in a 3-2 loss. I'm having difficulty breathing in these 3 games. Lord, please help me. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Marvin, codename CM. Welcome to the Code United channel once again. In these 3 matches, there were some positive sides shown on the team. Was that the man on form, Marcus Rashford, still on amazing red hot form, scoring the winner in the Manchester derby and a cracking 30-yard shot against Arsenal. Throughout these torturing 3 matches, there was a team following the win, draw and the losses experience. And that team were obviously the strength bubble surrounding the Man United midfield, whereby if the strength of the midfield dropped in quality of sharpness, the overall matches played by the Man United will subsequently drop significantly, and also reflect the lack of depth and the in need of replacement for in the midfield area. The Erik ten Hag has been desperate for solutions, but the Glazers are the Glazers, isn't it? In this video, we'll be deep diving on the Man United individual strengths and their individual problems that require solutions moving forward. And before we enter into this video, do please subscribe to this channel if you guys enjoy them, as each of your subscription will be a motivation for me to upload new content, and then ring the notification bell for each new upload. Let's cut the chase and here we go. In this modern football era, possession control and counter-pressing were held as the meta tactics, strongly highlighted the strength of the midfield as the most crucial area, and many matches were decided on the midfield battle, as the midfield was the major control conductor of the field by the linking between offense and the defense. That's why many great teams always consist some of the best midfielders, particularly playmakers. For instance, legendary Barcelona 3 midfielders, Xavi, Andreas Iniesta and Sergio Busquets, that dominated the football world in the 2010s, whom excelled in control the tempo of the matches with smart and short passes, thus created tiki-taka tactics that revolutionized how football tactics works. Besides, in these 20 to 23 seasons, the underperforming by Chelsea and Liverpool due to the lack of the quality on the midfield further signify the importance of the quality in terms of balance and control on the midfield players. Man United used to have world-class midfielders names like Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick. Unfortunately, after their retirement, Man United has struggled mightily to get any class midfielders that are capable to dictate the game with ease. Even with the record signing of 89 million World Cup winner Paul Pogba and the rare class CDM of Nemanja Matic does not really solve that issue. But to add salt to the injury, moving to this season, Man United faced some of the major setbacks in terms of the midfield player, with the departure of some of the key players including Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard and the mentioned Pogba and Matic. But to take note, all of them leave Man United on a free or release from their contract. No transfer, nothing, no nothing. Wow, I'm really considering my sanity of Man United negotiation department. What the hell are they doing? Fortunately, with the introduction of Erik ten Hag to Man United have been emphasizing improving the strength on the midfield. The signing of Christian Eriksen and Casemiro further proving that, thanks to the reinforcement assistant, had resulted Man United overperforming, sitting at the 4th place in the Premier League. However, the recent injury Donny van de Beek suffered basically ended his season. The squad depth in the midfield were as thin as my wallet, excluding the constant starter like Bruno Fernandes, Christian Eriksen and Casemiro. On the bench we had Fred, Scott McTominay and no one else. With the upcoming brutal, hectic schedule, averaging 3 matches a week till March, I am very afraid how Man United will withstand this torture. Let's begin with Man United's best formation at the midfield. Starting on the double pivot at the 6 spots, aka the holding midfielder or the central defensive midfielder, CDM in short, was the main man, Casemiro. Casemiro was a last-minute desperation signing Man United in need for many years after the first 2 humiliating defeats. Initially, Casemiro does not start regularly under Erik ten Hag, surprisingly, but after the 6-3 loss by Man City cemented the Casemiro starting spot and he did not look back, proceeded becoming arguably the most important player in the Erik ten Hag squad. Casemiro was the player that had brought balance, especially defensive awareness, reading of the game and a winning mentality. We all know Casemiro during the Real Madrid era was the enforcer or ball winner for the team, throwing tackles and winning possession back for his team. But when arrival in Man United, one of his underrated aspects of the game was on full display was his passing range. Because he was playing with some of the best passing maestro of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric in Real Madrid, therefore there there was a part that many pundits underestimate, especially the Carleton, Graham Saunders' atrocious take, calling him a steady Eddie but not world class. I may suggest you never speak a word again. In recent match against Arsenal, with his suspension, it was obvious Man United got absolutely destroyed. We consistently failed to build up from the back, and of course many Twitter users voices out that Man United loss is due to the suspension, plus the unfair schedule causes Casemiro unable to play does not help either. But this only shows the importance of Casemiro on the Erik ten Hag squad. As for the problem for Casemiro in the Man United shirt was very visible as well. The Man United does not have any replacement or substitute for Casemiro. Although Casemiro has shown time and time again his quality off the ball or on the ball, but due to his tendency of picking up cuts and possible fatigue hit, Man United midfield become very vulnerable, thus play less proactive and less control. So in this case, I think Man United would need to prioritize to getting a substitute for Casemiro, cause most of the opponent knows that Casemiro is class but not superhuman to solve all the midfield problems and maintain the quality every single match. Moving on to the 8th row. Normally played by Christian Eriksen, signed by Erik ten Hag this season on a free transfer, Eriksen easily called out as the best free transfer for Man United in the recent years, and Erik ten Hag had been very fond of the Danish playmaker. Christian Eriksen established himself as the fundamental player in the midfield, playing short passes and recycle the ball around the pitch. Although considered as a classic number 10 attacking midfielder, Eriksen has seen himself successfully transform and evolve to a deep-lying playmaker or a register. In many matches, Eriksen had been tasked to collect the ball from deep and dictate the tempo of the game. Besides that, Eriksen on the offensive side also does not dip from his change of position, dropping deep. In this season, Eriksen have the most assists in the team with 9 in total, and his 7 Premier League assists actually had him sit behind only Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League. That was some achievement for Eriksen. In addition, Eriksen also provided as a set piece expert, with the most of the corner or free kick that was not intended for goal were assigned for Eriksen to be taken. Thinking that Eriksen, going from a player that almost retired after the horrifying incident in the Euro to be the key piece under Erik ten Hag and excel under it has been an amazing sight to be seen. The problem for Eriksen in Man United was his playstyle. Although his playmaking and line-breaking passes had been very crucial for Man United, Eriksen did not perform well on the defensive end or rather weak against physical player, hence required to pair him with a ball winner like Casemiro. Furthermore, Eriksen's fitness did still haunt his performance on the pitch, as regularly he was replaced or subbed later of the game due to drop-in performance when closing out the match. But without Eriksen, Man United normally look very rigid in playstyle and seem missing Eriksen's intelligence, especially his line-breaking passing. So Man United would actually require to bring in a box-to-box midfield or another playmaker type player to completely replace Eriksen's starting spot, as Eriksen would be much better utilized as a substitute rather to having him starting every single match. For the number 10 spot, the central attacking midfielder came in short. We had captain of the team, excluding Maguire on the bench, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was the man when brought in during 1920 season, single-handedly dragged the Man United squad to top 4. Not just that, Fernandes proceeded to become one of the more prominent figures in the squad. And for many Man United fans following since his arrival, we all know the pros in Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes was an amazing final entry passer, combined with his goal-scoring ability, making him a top-level cam. Plus his energetic off-the-ball movement and defensive work rate, particularly pressing the opponent where he sees him always running around the pitch, pressing the on-ball opponent. With all these traits, gives Fernandes classified as one of the best attacking midfielder. On the other side of things, Fernandes' problem was as glaring as his pro. With his amazing passing comes his high-risk taking. Fernandes was known for his high-risk, high-reward attitude, playing a lot of quote-unquote Hollywood passes, hence losing possession constantly. Besides, he had high defensive work rate, but not effective on press. Where he see him running around aimlessly to press causes some formation or position loss, require other players to cover for him. But this trait had toned down since the arrival of Erik ten Hag, who emphasized on disciplinary on the pitch. Another extent of the problem was Man United with the injured Donny van de Beek do not have any more substitute for the Portuguese maestro. There were many matches that proved without Bruno Fernandes up front causes the lack of creativity and the off-ball work rate that he provided. So Man United in the future, although won't really need to consider replacement for Bruno Fernandes, but were in need of acquiring his backup as Donny van de Beek were injured for the rest of the season and his questionable future in the Man United shirt. Lastly, On the bench, we had the previous constant double pivot starter Fred and Scott McTominay, often dubbed as McFred. Both midfielders have been the starting lineup since the Mourinho era and constantly got berated badly by most of the fans due to the several clashes of pros and cons between them. Both players on hindsight should be complementary each other very well. Fred was tenacious, hardworking and agile, while McTominay was physical, tall and contained some ball-winning ability. Unfortunately, both of them has two cons that were in common, in which was reading of the game and passing ability. When McFred plays during the previous season, we fans found that very frustrating due to their ability on the ball with constant sideways pass or backward passing and unable to do the delivery line-breaking passes to the offense. But in these couple matches, Fred has slowly found himself as a come-off-the-bench player, provide a late game energy and a great man-marking skills. Legends said that he is still following Kevin De Bruyne to this day. As for McTominay, from his decent to above average performance earlier in this season, which actually started over Casemiro for a couple matches, but after the brutal defeat to Manchester noisy neighbours, he had yet to start any games till Casemiro got suspended, whereby further reinforced that after Casemiro, the midfield will be plummeted in terms of quality. In short, Man United have new owners coming in and would hope to going back to their glory days. Man United need to bring in at least 3 more midfielders, such as a backup or a competition to Bruno Fernandes, a starting spot replacement for Christian Eriksen, and a backup to Casemiro. In my opinion, if Man United in the near future able to fulfill all this, I think Erik ten Hag and his Man United squad could easily go very far from there. So that's the end of the video. What do you guys think? Do you agree with the strength and the problems of the Man United midfield? Comment down below so that we can have a discussion. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one.